November 24th, 1971. A well-dressed man walked into an airport, bought a one-way ticket under the name Dan Cooper, and quietly boarded a Boeing 727. No one imagined they were about to witness one of the most daring crimes in American history. Minutes after takeoff, he handed a flight attendant a small note. It read, "I have a bomb." He demanded $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting after landing. The FBI gave him everything he asked for. Then, at 10,000 feet, in the middle of a storm, he opened the rear stairs of the aircraft, jumped into the darkness, and disappeared forever. More than 50 years later, no body has ever been found. No one has ever been arrested. And the true identity of D.B. Cooper remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in FBI history. At first, nothing seemed unusual. Dan Cooper appeared calm, polite, and remarkably ordinary. He ordered a bourbon and soda, lit a cigarette, and quietly watched the clouds drift past the window. To the passengers around him, he looked like any other businessman returning home after work. No one noticed the black briefcase resting beside his seat, or guessed that inside it was something that would soon change the flight forever. As Flight 305 climbed into the gray evening sky, the cabin remained peaceful. People chatted, read newspapers, and relaxed, completely unaware that within minutes, one quiet passenger would become the center of one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. At exactly 3 p.m., Dan Cooper quietly called a flight attendant named Florence Schaffner to his seat. Without raising his voice, he handed her a small folded note. At first, she thought it was just another passenger trying to flirt. She slipped the note into her purse without reading it. Then Cooper leaned toward her and calmly said, "Miss, you'd better look at that note." She unfolded the paper. The words were short, cold, and unforgettable. "I have a bomb." He slowly opened his black briefcase, just enough for her to glimpse several red cylinders connected by wires. There was no panic in his voice, no anger, only absolute confidence. In that single moment, Flight 305 became the scene of one of the most extraordinary hijackings in history. Cooper never raised his voice. He didn't threaten anyone. He didn't panic. He simply explained what he wanted with remarkable precision. $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting the moment the aircraft landed in Seattle. The amount was unusual. In 1971, $200,000 was worth more than $1 million today. Even more surprising was his request for 4 parachutes. Investigators later believed Cooper did this deliberately. If he had asked for only 1 parachute, authorities might have secretly provided a damaged one. But with 4 parachutes, they couldn't risk giving him faulty equipment, fearing he might force innocent passengers to jump with him. The flight crew immediately contacted the cockpit. Within minutes, the message reached Seattle authorities, and then the FBI. Outside the aircraft, law enforcement began preparing for an emergency, unlike anything they had seen before. Inside the cabin, everything still looked perfectly normal. Passengers continued reading newspapers, drinking coffee, and chatting quietly. None of them realized they were living through a moment that would soon become one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in American history. After nearly 2 hours in the air, Flight 305 finally landed at Seattle-Tacoma Airport. The runway was surrounded by police vehicles, FBI agents, and emergency crews. But Cooper had one strict condition. No one was allowed to come near the aircraft except a single ground crew member, delivering the money and the parachutes. One by one, the bags were brought to the aircraft. $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, everything Cooper had demanded. Only after carefully checking that everything was on board, he kept his promise. All 36 passengers were released safely. Several flight attendants also left the aircraft, but Cooper ordered the pilots and one remaining flight attendant to stay. As the cabin slowly emptied, the mystery was only beginning. With the passengers safely off the aircraft, Cooper prepared for the final stage of his plan. He ordered the crew to take off again and fly south toward Mexico City. But this would not be a normal flight. The aircraft had to remain at a dangerously low altitude, with its landing gear lowered, and its speed kept unusually slow. Cooper also wanted the rear stairs ready to be opened during the flight. Outside, night had fallen over the Pacific Northwest. Heavy clouds covered the mountains and forests below. Rain struck the aircraft as Flight 305 disappeared into the darkness. Inside the cabin, Cooper began preparing the parachutes and securing the ransom money. Then he ordered the remaining flight attendant to enter the cockpit, leaving him completely alone in the passenger cabin. The pilots could no longer see what he was doing. They could only continue flying and wait. Somewhere over the dark wilderness, Cooper was preparing to vanish. At approximately 8:13 p.m., everything changed. Inside the cockpit, the pilots suddenly felt the aircraft shake. It wasn't turbulence. It was a sharp movement, unlike anything they had felt before. A warning light immediately illuminated on the instrument panel. The rear air stair had been deployed. No one inside the cockpit had seen Cooper leave his seat. The flight attendant had already been ordered into the cockpit, leaving him completely alone in the passenger cabin. Behind the closed cockpit door, Cooper quietly made his final preparations. He secured the ransom money to his body, checked his parachute one last time, and walked toward the rear staircase. Outside, a violent storm covered the Pacific Northwest. Rain pounded the aircraft. Powerful winds tore through the open staircase. Below him stretched thousands of square miles of dark forests, rivers, and mountains. No lights? No witnesses? No second chances. Jumping from a Boeing 727 into that storm, at nearly 10,000 feet, carrying $200,000 in cash, was something almost no one would dare attempt. Then, without saying a single word, D.B. Cooper stepped into the darkness. The night swallowed him instantly. The airplane continued flying south, but Cooper was gone. From that moment forward, no passenger, no crew member, and no investigator would ever see him again. The crew had no idea exactly when Cooper had jumped. The aircraft continued flying for several more minutes before finally landing safely in Reno, Nevada. When FBI agents rushed inside, the cabin was empty. D.B. Cooper was gone. Only a few personal items remained behind: his black clip-on tie, several cigarette butts, and a few fingerprints. Within hours, the FBI launched one of the largest manhunts in American history. Hundreds of agents searched the forests of Washington. Military helicopters flew over endless mountains. Search teams combed rivers, valleys, and remote wilderness. Days turned into weeks. Weeks became months. But there was no parachute, no body, no ransom money. It was as if D.B. Cooper had simply vanished into the night. Nearly 9 years later, the mystery took an unexpected turn. In 1980, an 8-year-old boy named Brian Ingram was digging in the sand along the Columbia River at a place called Tana Bar. Suddenly, he uncovered something unbelievable: bundles of decaying $20 bills. When investigators checked the serial numbers, they matched the ransom money given to D.B. Cooper. It was the first and only confirmed piece of the ransom ever recovered. But the discovery only deepened the mystery. How did the money end up there? Had Cooper survived? Or had the river carried the cash for years? No one could explain it. Over the years, the FBI investigated more than 800 suspects. Some were former soldiers. Others were experienced skydivers, pilots, or criminals with the skills to pull off such a daring hijacking. Every few years, a new theory emerged. A deathbed confession, a mysterious photograph, a forgotten military record. Each clue seemed promising until it fell apart under closer examination. Despite decades of investigation, no suspect could ever be proven to be D.B. Cooper. The man who vanished into the storm remained a ghost. Did D.B. Cooper actually survive that impossible jump? Experts remain divided. Some believe no one could survive leaping into a freezing storm at night with limited visibility and rugged wilderness below. Others argue Cooper knew exactly what he was doing. He chose the flight path, demanded parachutes, and stayed remarkably calm throughout the hijacking. If he survived, he disappeared without leaving a single trace. No body, no parachute, no confirmed identity. More than 50 years later, the greatest mystery isn't how he escaped. It's whether he ever wanted to be found. More than 50 years have passed, and the mystery of D.B. Cooper remains unsolved. Was he a brilliant mastermind who escaped with the money? Or did he disappear forever into the storm that night? Perhaps the truth is still hidden somewhere deep in the forests of the Pacific Northwest, waiting to be discovered. What do you think happened to D.B. Cooper? Let us know your theory in the comments. And if you enjoy real mysteries, forgotten history, and unbelievable true stories, don't forget to subscribe to Mystery Atlas, because the next mystery is waiting.